the Frames Per Second podcast. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Frames Per Second podcast. My name is Kenneth B. Inge, here with Spike and Mike.
Yo, what up, though?
We are here to discuss The Studio, which, if I'm not mistaken, has been a topic of discussion actively in the Frames Per Second Reddit. Frames Per Second. So, and apparently they really love this show. So we were looking for stuff to discuss. So here we are talking about The Studio. I think people were asking us if we were going to review it or recommending that we review it. So here we are. So let's get into it, man. Just real quick thoughts on The Studio. Spike.
It took a couple of episodes before I finally figured out what they were trying to do with the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think I liked it in the beginning, but towards the end, and the messages were more clear, and the conversations were more poignant about the things in Hollywood that like movie people in Hollywood. Like I listened to that podcast, The Town. That dude was in one of the later episodes. I can understand the talk around this show because of the topics being discussed are very heavily discussed topics in Hollywood. And then it gives Seth Rogen the freedom to kind of be silly with it and do it in a silly way where it doesn't have to be a serious show. By the time that it ended, I liked it a lot. It didn't start off that way. Like I felt like I was wasting my time in the beginning, like it was way too goofy. But by the time we get to the last episode with he's tripping off the mushrooms and stuff, like it was really, really good. So I did like this. I'm glad they suggested because I was going to skip it because I just didn't like the first episode. So I did like it, though.
What about you, Mike?
Mike don't like this white people stuff. I know Mike didn't like this. You don't like the conversations
I'm not doing
around?
this again. I'm on my Rod shit. I'm out of town. This I hated.
Oh, no.
I hated this. I was seriously watching this bullshit, trying to figure out why we were doing this. Why did we subject ourselves to, what is this, 10 episodes?
5 hours total, yes.
Oh my God, I was so fucking mad. And then when I realized that I was hating it, I was like, well, I don't want to break this up. I got to just push through it. So I just tried to knock it out in 2 days so I could be done, so I could watch something better. But no, I fucking hated this shit.
What you hate the most about it?
Everything. I hated having to watch it. I hated having to hear it.
I hate your black lips.
I hate your
the
gums.
back of Whoopi Goldberg neck.
Bro, I don't find stuff like this funny. I did not laugh one single time throughout this entire series. This is not my kind of humor. And me saying all of this is not to say that this isn't a well-made show. If you like this kind of humor, I'm sure you'll love it. But the second I saw that dude, that Seth guy,
Seth Rogen.
I was like, oh, I'm going to fucking hate this shit. And I was right. I fucking hated this, man.
Damn. I kind of expected that, though.
Oh, my God.
I thought about
so
that. I was
mad.
like, Mike hate this, right?
Oh, my God.
I was definitely hating it early. I had a very similar experience to you, Spike. I was like, what the fuck am I really about to watch 10 episodes of him trying to make this movie Kool-Aid? I didn't understand. I was like, I do not want to watch this. This is stupid. Why are we watching this? It makes no sense. It took a minute for me to catch on. I think maybe by the third episode, I was like, oh, each one is kind of a standalone episode. Okay.
A different style of film.
Yeah, and each one was like chaotic. It was a bunch of chaos. It was a bunch of yelling, high energy, running around trying to solve whatever the thing was. So by the time I got halfway through, I was like, okay, I'm okay with what they're trying to do here.
I was the same exact way. It made more sense later on.
Yeah, but I had no expectations going in at all. And I like comedy. But I don't like Seth Rogen and and his crew's sort of style of comedy.
Slapstick almost.
Yeah, that sort of comedy for me. I don't know. I've never really been that much of a fan of it, and I didn't really laugh at any of the jokes, that were in here. I think I may have laughed once or twice, but I got where they were going for it. I could see a lot of people just loving this. But I completely understood why Reddit and other people are so in love with this show.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Especially if you call yourself a film person. Because these are the conversation and movie people are having.
This shit
Stuff
is
that they're talking
absolute
about.
chaos, Mike.
Yeah.
By the time it was over, I was like, damn, I fuck with that.
Yeah, I was too, though.
Yeah.
It definitely did it like the roller coaster ride and it got up to the top.
Yeah. Now, the last two was way, way, way over the top and extra for me.
Thanks.
And I wasn't that big of a fan, but most of the stuff that before we got there, I thought was good. And I like the satire. Like any of the satire of Hollywood and filmmaking.
No, this shit was just dumb, dude.
You weren't
No.
into the movie conversations like that people are having now, like the AI one or even when the Kool-Aid thing happened and they were talking about the race stuff and like none of that was interesting.
No.
Damn.
No, there was the only episodes that I found interesting, because I wrote them down, was like two, was episode 6 and episode 9, which I'm sure we'll get to at some point. But no, the AI one, I didn't really care about. The one where they were kind of devaluing Matt's job.
Yeah.
Because they were like doctors.
Oh, yeah.
That one was
one
good.
I felt.
I like that.
Because I was like, oh, especially when he said golf is a boring sport for boring people. I thought Spike and B. Because I've said that before I knew y'all played golf. But I was like, oh, that's a bar. And then episode 9, which we'll get to. But the rest of this,
Yeah,
no.
I really didn't go by because they're so different.
Yeah.
I was just gonna
Okay.
just ask what were some of the standout episodes.
That was one of my favorite scenes when he takes $200,000 when they were bidding on their golf shit and they were so upset
Yeah.
that he be outbidding them. I love how their message played out because it's like they're dismissing his job and they're
Yeah.
pooling together 100 and something thousand and he can just like, I'll buy it. Like, how unimportant is my job if I have this much value? Like,
But
I really thought that was good.
Do you guys think that he was overvaluing what he was doing because he felt like he was being undervalued?
No, I think that he had.
They were shitting on him, bro.
He was in that world, and him being. I think that's what a lot of people in their professions like. If you just know the bird's eye view of it, you're like, okay, yeah, you do this, but when you're talking to the person actually doing it, like, no, all of these things entail with it. Like, there's a lot that goes into the things that I do. I think that that's a normal conversation, but I could also see them as doctors being like, bro, we save lives. Like, regardless of what you're doing. But I think his response is like, yeah, as you're saving them lives, guess what? A movie's playing. Like, movies are everywhere. I thought that was a real good back and forth.
I liked the conversation. I thought that the doctors were being absolute pieces of shit.
Yeah.
But I also thought Matt was out of his fucking mind. To really try to pretend that you're on the same level as a doctor is just silly. I got his point, and I think he was doing that because of the way that they were behaving.
Yes. In
But-
response to, it wasn't
Yes.
pretentious. It was in response to them being pretentious.
It was a little pretentious.
yeah, I think so.
To be like, I'm a studio exec and I'm an artist. It was like, no, you're being silly. No, you're not, dude. You're not. Like, let's be real about this. But I liked the conversation that was being had, and I like how it was like progressing. Because I like Rebecca. I can't remember her last name, but the woman that was playing the pretentious girlfriend. I really like her as an actress. She's great. And the way she was just like, I mean, you can't really think that your job is that important. You can't really think that. I liked all of that. And the friends just being assholes and Matt just getting progressively annoyed. I liked it. But no, I think Matt's full of shit if he really thinks like, oh no, look, I'm just as important because when you guys are saving lives,
Right.
they can watch TV. Shut the fuck up, bro.
He said this is important as curing cancer. Oh, he was like, oh, you guys made it? You cured cancer already? I thought that was hilarious.
That was kind of funny.
He
That
got
part was
cured?
kind of
Damn, I
funny.
missed it.
I missed that.
I think you meant that, outside of the message, I think that one was a little bit more serious in tone. It was less like the extra shit that they were doing in some of the other ones. But yeah, no, that was when I was like, okay, I'm on board with this show.
I like the feud too between the two. The younger girl that was an assistant, and then the older asshole guy.
Sal?
Yeah, I like the feud between them when he threw the burrito and hit the.
Oh, you mean that was the episode before the war?
Yeah.
I wasn't that much of a fan of
That
that
was
one.
funny to me.
Is that the one with
man.
Anthony Mackie?
No, that
was the
yes, no, it wasn't.
The one with Anthony Mackie was before that.
Okay.
Where he didn't what
The
was
one
that
with
based
Anthony
on?
Mackie was The Note. That was with Ron Howard, and it was talking about Alphabet City,
Yes.
and it was and how that was owed to his cousin.
And y'all like that shit?
Yeah, that was good, man. I can't lie.
I was personally offended.
Tell me more.
The fact that they would pretend that Anthony Mackie is anybody's favorite actor. I was like, I want to turn this off. This is
Mike.
ridiculous.
Oh,
Anthony
God.
Mackie is nobody's favorite actor, dude.
It made me wonder if that was a thing.
That's not.
You think they were making a joke of that? Like they
No.
were making fun of Anthony Mackie?
I think Anthony Mackie probably made them write that part in there.
I think they were being funny. That's why it was funny. I think that they have the same take that we do
I
about
don't think Anthony Mackie would do it.
That's Seth Rogen's type of comedy though. They were making fun of Hollywood like in real time. I think that was part of one of the jokes. Like we all look at Anthony Mackie just like we talk about up here. Like I think that was part of the joke and he was in on it, which makes him kind of a little bit cooler than me.
Which would be why she was very over the top. Because I was really like, why is she so obsessive about Anthony
like
Mackie,
nobody's
bro?
gonna do that with Anthony Mackie.
No.
Like that was part of the joke though.
Does he know it was a joke?
I don't know if he knows.
I think,
but everybody else did.
I don't know. He would have to have known, but it would be a very subtle like joke.
Yes.
So maybe he didn't know.
But this is a real like this is an inside Hollywood type show. Like people that are having these conversations, I think that's why this was so popular because it's like kind of inside baseball. Like if you know, you know, but if you don't, then it's gonna come off as silly.
They understand, like they all like they have a lot of cameos, so I think they all signed up and they knew that they were being made fun.
They're making fun of themselves.
Yeah, because they know the industry. I think that was one of the aspects of it that I like. Like Ron Howard, like I'm like, okay, what is the story behind Ron Howard and why are they picking on him? But you also, because they sitting there watching the film, they were like, oh man, that was a great ending. And then they got up to leave, like, oh, there's more. And then it kept going.
That was real. 'Cause that's a lot of movies we see these days.
Exactly. That's why I thought. I was like, oh, it was at that point I was like, okay,
Here's
see
what they're
this is
doing.
Yep,
Exactly.
I see because the first one was the setup with the Kool-Aid. I was like, what the fuck is going on with Scorsese crying at a party? I was like, okay, this is stupid. And the Jonestown Massacre. Then you have the Warner with him being there, and she wanted to get this jet, which was, I guess, making fun of Warner Films, so long continuous shot. That was a little meta. That was too meta for me, so I ain't. Really
And it was
get
about
that.
the overpowering executives. Like they kept telling him, bro, nobody wants you to be here. He tried to make notes to the damn thing, and he fucked everything up. Like you fucked up the shot, all because you just got this new position, and you like want to come in and show, oh, I'm the cool boss, but you still doing too much.
Which I guess we saw the pretentious. You could see him early on wanting to be more than what he was in that episode when he's trying to give advice and stuff like that. You can see that kind of culminate later
Right.
into the one about the pediatricians.
Yes.
So yeah, I didn't, because there really isn't no continuous like
No, it was just different
storyline
one-offs.
here, but
I did not like the Noir one. Like where he was trying.
the
What do they
missing
call it?
reel.
You know how they do like what is Dick Tracy called? What is the stuff called? Noir?
Oh, noir. But is that what that was supposed to be?
Yeah, that's what they was.
Yeah, when he was talking into the
Because he did the
Oh,
whole-
he had the
yeah.
trench coat and stuff on.
Yeah.
Okay, I got
Zac
you.
Efron was in that one.
No.
And
that was
Olivia
my least
Wilde.
favorite one. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, like they were fine with the Note, making fun of Ron Howard and Anthony Mackie, and it really made me wonder, like, man, like, do people really struggle to tell people, like, yeah, you got to cut this out?
I bet they do.
They
Especially
have
if it's
to.
somebody like Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Like it's Ron Howard. You telling me like, come on, bro.
Yeah. So, but I mean, who the fuck is Ron Howard?
Ron Howard is a great filmmaker. What
An
do you mean?
acclaimed
Who the fuck is Ron Howard?
Oh, I'm looking now.
What? Are you
Oh,
serious? You
shit.
didn't know who Ron Howard was?
You know, I never really paid attention to it, but yeah.
Ron Howard got
I mean,
some
he's
heat,
not. He doesn't make my kind of movies, but
but he got some.
Oh yeah,
acclaimed
Cocoon,
movies.
Apollo. Okay, I see it now.
Cocoon. Yeah.
Da
Another
Vinci Code. Oh yeah, I like those. Da Vinci Code. Yeah, I like those. Da Vinci
He's no
Code.
slouch when it comes to making films. So he's
Another-
one of those guys. He makes some shit. You don't tell him to take stuff out.
right.
Yeah. Did you guys feel like they were spoiling certain things? Like they kept talking about A Beautiful Mind. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie.
I don't know that I've seen it, so I didn't care that it was
I
spoiled.
never
They
seen
did
A Beautiful
spoil
Mind.
it. Yes.
Yeah. I thought there was a interesting line in here when they kept making fun of Quinn, I think, about movies she hadn't seen.
It made me think of y'all.
I was thinking that
It was
too.
like, you haven't seen that?
But the line she had, she was like, "Oh, you mean movies that are classic because they're nostalgic to you, or something along those lines?" I was like, "Damn, it felt like a shot." I was like, "Wait, are these classic, or are they classic because we just have an attachment to them?"
It came up in our time period.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good line that she had. So, but yeah, I wasn't a fan of the war at all.
I like that, man. Like, like when she parked the golf cart there. That was so funny. Like he had to go all the way down there. Dude played a hell of a character. I think he was.
Oh, Sal was very
funny,
extra
man.
and over the top.
God.
But man, he was great in the Golden Globes. That was
Yes.
8.
When they kept calling his name.
Man. And when he walked up, he was like, "We Globes in, we Globes in."
I liked him in that and the drug episode. The drug episode, he was great too.
Oh man, because I think is that the line when he said, he's like, "We're gonna get he tubed."
Yeah. Mike, it was so funny. The both.
I'm just letting y'all cook, bro. I'm not. Y'all having fun. Go
Sal
for it.
was so extra and over the. He was like, "Hey, y'all don't know me now, but you know me." Sal was
lit,
crazy,
man.
bro.
Man, that was funny.
Sal was insane.
I thought the way that the Kool-Aid thing played out too, like her just watching it. I knew her just looking at the board and being like, "Wait,
Oh my God, casting was by far my favorite episode.
hey, is Kool-Aid right?" Wait, she was like, "Are y'all seeing this?"
And Catherine Hahn, oh my God,
She played great too.
She
was
was
annoying as hell,
amazing.
yeah.
The outfits she had on were over the top, but she, to me, was probably my. I don't know, Spike.
Her and Sal were right there.
I think she may have been my. You're right. I think
She had the one-liners too, but Sal was just over the top and like
Sal came on late for me.
He
but
did.
Catherine was like,
He
she
did.
was. Oh, and when I forgot which episode it was, but when they were about to get some award and she was drinking checking off the liquor, and
he was drinking it. Even when she kissed him, Sal come. I thought y'all weren't gonna do that anymore. All of that was funny. Man.
she was like, what she said, it was gonna make my ovaries hurt or something. She had a lot of
She
good one-liners too, man. But Catherine Hahn, I think she was incredible.
She was
Because she
good
was the
cast.
one in casting by far. Because I love how they were like poking fun at.
The way that it even just started and just her like looking at it and being like, wait. And then nobody wanted to say it. Like I feel like that's how it go in the room for real.
Yes.
I promise. Like we gotta ask somebody, and they had nobody to ask, so they asked the girl who ain't black.
But close enough.
Yeah, close enough to black because she young. Like and that was all of that was
She was
great.
like, something ain't right here. And then Sal got it.
Yeah,
And
then-
Matt was the last one. He was like, "Oh, they're black." He said, "Cause Spike, I promise, Mike, you didn't think this."
and they were like, "Shh, don't say it."
When
You
they had
can't say
Ice
it.
Cube, it was Ice Cube
Yeah.
picked to play the Kool-Aid Man. You didn't think, oh my, you can't have Ice Cube play the Kool-Aid
That's the
Man.
first
a
thing I
racist.
thought.
That's the first thing you thought.
That's the first thing I thought. I was like, wait a minute. How come everybody's white except for the Kool-Aid Man?
I thought the same thing.
what?
So seeing this play out in real time for white people, and they were like, oh, wait a minute, we can't do that.
And they're like, wait, we did not call him black. We didn't do that.
We didn't call him black.
that shit
Then they
wasn't
went to go
funny,
talk
man.
to the black person. Yeah, all of that.
Oh, you didn't think that was
I just felt like it was just the whole episode was just a little too obvious. Like it was obvious what was about to happen. Y'all were gonna realize that it's racist. You're gonna realize it, and then when they started picking other people, I'm like, oh, now you're gonna realize you went in the opposite direction. Stuff like this doesn't work for me. Like, but I
got
know
it.
it's me. It's not a show problem. It's me. I don't find stuff like this funny. This felt like watching multiple episodes of Seinfeld, where I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck is funny about this?
Man,
That's why I like stuff like that Nathan Fielder guy does. Felder, however you say his name. That awkward, weird, almost real humor, that's the kind of shit I like.
What's Nathan Fielder though?
He did The Rehearsal. He did
that one
Nathan
you
For
tried to get me to
You.
watch, okay.
That kind of shit, I'm new to him. I find that kind of stuff funny.
Got it.
Seth Rogen, I don't think... That is Seth Rogen, right?
Yeah, Seth Rogen.
I
yeah.
don't think he's funny.
Just over the top.
I don't even know if it's an over-the-top thing. It's just like... His humor is too obvious for me.
I don't disagree with you on that. He was very extra. But I think what I enjoyed about the show was it making fun of Hollywood. Like they were making fun of themselves. And I think I appreciated that and giving me like certain insights that I don't have.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good. And
Wait, what were those insights? I must have...
Like a lot of that stuff that they talk about on the town, which is why they had Bill Bellamy, the Bellamy guy, on there. A lot of those topics, because he does a weekly podcast about just Hollywood news. So if you listen to that podcast, which is why I said it's Inside Baseball, most of the stuff that they were talking about in each episode is an ongoing conversation of Hollywood.
But nothing that they talked about was anything where I was like, oh, that's interesting. It was like, okay, I assume they talk about that. Oh, the race thing. Oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, the AI thing, even the executive things and how people move around and get the different positions. The company getting bought out later on at the end. The award stuff. Even the who they mentioned in their acceptance speeches. Mm-hmm. All of that stuff is like constant conversation that he has on his podcast, The Town. So. Speaking of that, Bryan Cranston was good too. Those last two episodes.
Yeah, he showed out.
My
He
legs
definitely
don't
showed
work.
out. He definitely showed out. And Zoe Kravitz too. She
did a good job too. She did a good job.
Oh, she said peeing.
I did like episode 9 where they all got high.
That was good.
It was very triggering because I've been in that position.
I have
a lot of times.
Not
with
a lot
some
of times.
girl that's just like so fucking high, and it's like I don't know what to do with this, and then she wants to like have some real serious deep conversation. It's like, bro, are you serious right now? Can you just shut up?
Like when she just started repeating everything that people said to her.
Oh God, that really happens though. This whole episode was real. I didn't laugh, but this whole episode was like, oh my God, this is so fucking realistic. Especially if you're around somebody that, and that's the thing. The drug heads call it that.
I've seen all of this before. Like you said, if you've been in, I've seen like even the white dude, it was like, no, dude, it was 7 grams of mushrooms and all.
James Franco's brother.
Isn't
that who
that
that was?
funny? Yeah, that was James Franco.
I didn't know.
Because isn't he canceled or something?
Well, they tried to, but they couldn't.
But isn't he in something? So they had to
Yes.
go get his brother to play him instead of him to
That
play
is
him.
hilarious. I never thought about that.
Wait, what?
I thought Franco was in trouble for something, right?
James Franco definitely.
He did something, I don't know what it
He
was.
pulled his dick out or something. I don't remember. He did something weird. But I didn't know that that's what they were doing because they were calling him David Franco, which is his name.
But you know, Seth and James, they work together a lot. Like most of Seth's movies, like Pineapple Express, he got like 2 more. James
Interview.
Franco, James Franco is his go-to. Like they.
So maybe
Batman
that was
and Robin.
I don't know. So I thought that maybe that was the thing that they
Maybe.
were doing
I didn't even think about that.
I
But
don't know, man.
by casting him to play.
because that's usually his sidekick.
Anyway, but yeah. 9 was a lot for me.
Nine was good, man.
Okay.
It was like,
I
what
like
the fuck?
The guy got beat up and still went out there and gave the speech. The Franco guy. They
Oh,
kicked- they
yeah,
kicked his-
yeah.
It was a good
'Cause
speech.
he was so
too,
high.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing that was actually good about that episode is like they were all fucking high,
Mhm.
extremely high, but when
When
it
I-
came to like
yeah.
I have to go out there and get that speech, they were
They did it,
on.
Yep.
But yeah,
Especially Kravitz.
the
She did.
idea of how much mushrooms that is, and the fact that they took that much, and the way she was acting, I was like, this is so spot on.
You would be a different person if you took that much mushrooms in one setting.
You would not be able to function.
No, you cannot
At all,
You would think
so-
you are literally in another world.
But man, just being like a little bit tipsy on a couple of drinks and having to be around people that are that kind of high, this episode knocked out the park because that is exactly how they fucking act. You're babysitting the whole fucking time, and then it's like you're really high. Well, how high are you? Oh, like you're turn this shoe sideways, and you're 3 of those. That's how you gotta talk to them. So yeah, I liked this episode, but everything else, I was just like, I don't understand why this is funny. I want to find it funny. I really do. Because it sucks. Whenever I'm in a funny mood, I gotta just watch Martin. Nothing else makes me laugh, and I hate that.
Oh, that's
The
7.
Office, neither.
I've never seen this The Office.
I keep hearing about The Office, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh, Ken, you would love it.
That's what I keep hearing.
I keep hearing
That's
the
what they
same
keep
thing.
saying.
Like,
If you worked a cubicle job, you will love The Office.
1,000,000%.
But see, I like comedy more than you do.
You definitely do.
So I know why they keep saying that you would like it.
I don't either. I'm like, I keep having. It's just
Yeah,
one
you
of those
might think
things where
it's-
it's like you tell people I don't like steak, and they're like, well, you gotta try it medium rare, and it's like, bitch, did I say I don't like
it's
anything?
cooked.
But I said I don't like steak. Like, why do you think I've never had it this way? So it's the same thing. I tell people I'm not really into comedy. Oh, you gotta try The Office. Did you fucking hear what I said?
No, I'm
I
not
just
sure.
told you I don't like comedy.
I'm not sure you would like it though, because it's silly. Like, not this silly, but it's some like, bro, what in there too.
You know what this felt like? This felt like Atlanta for white people.
I could see that.
In that situation where it's just like it's dropping you off in these scenarios, and they're just these weird one-off scenarios, and it's just a bunch of wacky shit happens. I can deal with Atlanta doing that because that is more to my kind of
can relate
awkward
to it,
humor.
yeah.
This where it's like, hey, I just fucked this girl. It's just like I don't understand what the funny, like, where's the punchline? And the next thing I know, the show's over, and I'm like, wait a minute, where was the funny?
I did get that vibe. Like, this is Atlanta about Hollywood. It's just way extra and over the top. Because at some point, somebody will be running around and yelling, and the world's falling apart. But I think where they got me was casting, though. I think by far that was the one. Them just making fun of like how not to be racist, but you end up being racist, And I think even when she said, yeah, white women, we can't get white women because they have to replace the white woman. Every single thing that they were pointing out on the board, Spike, I was like, oh, that's racist. You can't do that.
Can't do that.
And they got right to it. And she was like, oh, white women are toxic.
And she's like, you are white. And what did she say? I'm from
Cyprus or something
I'm
like
from
that.
Cyprus. I'm
from
people from
Cyprus.
Cyprus. That was kind of, sort of, almost funny.
Yeah, she was like, oh, I'm offended by that. I'm from Cyprus or whatever she said. But
I actually almost laughed when Seth Rogen was talking to Ice Cube, and Ice Cube said, "You're my nigga," and he goes, "And you're mine." I almost laughed because I was like, "That's weird." Because that sounds like something that would really happen if you're awkward. You wouldn't know how to respond. So he's like, "And you're mine."
That was good too. And Ice Cube did a good job, man. I think he did a good job in that little scene.
I did. That's bold, bro.
It
What's
is.
bold?
You don't think that's bold for him to be like, and you're mine?
Well, it's bold in real life, but it's not bold on the TV show because it's scripted.
I guess. I was like, I can't believe he did that.
'Cause, yeah, the way it was written was bold. I'll say that. It was right, like,
It'd have been bold if he repeated it back.
Nah, I think there's like, and you're mine, but it's like I'm the exec, and I don't know. You can make implications into it, but I don't know. I was like, damn, that's that. I don't know. I think I take that back. I think in present day to write that with how sensitive people can be, I could see people taking that and turning that into more than what
I
it is.
can't.
You don't think so?
No, not at all. Especially by that episode. Like the entire show is centered on this type of humor. So if people got mad at that episode, they need to eat a dick and choke on it because that's just silly. y'all trying too hard. It was clearly Seth Rogen trying to be like, you shouldn't do this, but I'm this awkward guy, and I can't see anybody getting upset about that. But watch me be wrong and get on Twitter.
Yeah, it's a risk, but I think that was the episode though about how just the smallest of things could be raped because I think of this one he said we're gonna Black Panther this shit and make everybody black, and then they went and talked to Laurel and whoever this other person was, and then what she said oh yeah, because when she took Sandra Oh out of it and replaced it with a black person, and then she was like, oh, because they were doing the percentages, the demographic of people. And she was like ages of like 0.6 or whatever, and then she made the All Lives Matter.
I thought that was good.
That shit was funny, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm glad y'all enjoyed it.
Good.
But how I'm gonna be on our next one with Rogue One and
No, you won't.
What else do we have to do?
No, you
Marvel rankings.
You're not gonna be deadpan on no Rogue One. You'll like Rogue One.
Yeah, but yeah, man. But no, I think overall, the last thing I gotta remember, and I forgot which episode. Spike, you may remember. She was like, "Yeah, if you don't go do this, I'm gonna show everybody this video. She bribed him, and he was like, "What video?" She was like, "The one of you rapping the N word."
Oh yeah, it was the dude, the assistant.
It was Sam.
Yeah, it was Sam.
He took
I was
off.
like,
That was funny. He took off, man.
oh, Sam.
I don't
was
even
funny.
remember that.
Yeah.
I can't remember which episode it was in, but I was like, "Yo, that was funny to me because again, it's like we know all y'all be at these damn parties rapping the N word and stuff like that, and somebody's holding it over your head." Oh man,
I wouldn't recommend this to just anybody. I would have to know that they like this type of humor or liked Hollywood a lot.
I'm not doing season 2. I'm just putting that out there right now.
I don't think it's gonna be another one.
They
I think
got
there
renewed.
will. Yeah,
Really?
It makes sense because
Oh, this is a hit, bro.
that's amazing to me.
The studio is a hit, and Apple TV, bro. Man,
They,
Apple
could, hey,
TV
they got
don't
the
miss,
best
bro.
TV shows, man. I can
Apple
go ahead and get that to them. They got the best TV shows.
Yeah, they are not missing. They're not missing.
Well, whoever recommended this, fuck you for life.
It was
But-
Jalen.
Well, fuck Jalen for life. Yeah. This was anger-inducingly bad to me.
Jesus.
I really hated every minute that I had to spend watching this. But again, I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. I will not be here for season 2. Y'all could have a blast. I'm sure Rod probably liked this shit.
Yeah, I went up because I started watching it Friday. I was like, fuck it. Then I was like, 10 episodes. I thought it was an hour. And then it was, so I was like, I'm going to just let it run. I saw the whole season was like 5 hours. So I went through like the first 5 episodes like that.
Yeah, same here.
So, because I wanted to get it out of the way. Because after the first episode, I was like, this stupid ain't going to like it. But I got into it. I gave it time. I got into it.
It was definitely a slow build.
Mike, did you
No.
did you like any of the shots they were taking at some of the artsy films?
I don't know that I remember.
There was the shot at A24, and that he was at
When
the
they were
shot.
trying to get that movie made, like Smile.
Yeah, they were talking about A24 films and horror films with movies. I think he said he described them as pansexual mixologists living in Bed-Stuy is how he describes them.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah,
When they were trying to get the Wink made, the film Wink. It was supposed to be like Smile.
What episode was this?
Hold on.
Oh, and then they took a shot at other one. He was like, "Yeah, I don't like movies with subtitles," but they were like, because their whole thing is about big mainstream Hollywood movies. So they were definitely taking shots at like A20. They name dropped A24.
Yeah, they did.
And they mentioned movies with subtitles and movies that only a small group of people like, but they think are better than all the other films.
I'm wondering if I accidentally skipped an episode because I don't remember anything about what y'all.
It was just the line. So you probably, if you weren't paying,
It's the same episode with the golf cart.
golf
Yeah,
cart.
you-
They threw the burrito and the golf cart crashed.
It's that episode.
oh
I
yeah,
remember that.
because Quinn was about, she wanted to make movies like that.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
I do remember Quinn arguing with the other person, saying that like they were trying to come up with like a compromise or something.
It's the same episode where he asked dude, like, what if you made your movie and it tested and it was terrible? And they were like, what would you do? And he was like, would you take our notes? And he was like, well, I would consider. Wrong answer. When they were doing that whole thing. And then
I
that's when they
believe
got
all
into
of
the
these things
conversation. That's when they got into the conversation
Yeah.
about A24 because dude was supposedly at cons and all of this different prestigious stuff. And they was like, man, none of that shit matters. We don't make films. We make movies.
I remember that line, but I don't remember the A24 stuff.
It was a little bit. It was like right after that. the
Yeah,
next thing.
Quinn wanted to make movies like that, and Sal was on the opposite end of it. But she was mad because she wanted his help to get the movies she likes and wanted to make made. And so, yeah. But I thought that was interesting that they were taking like little shots at those sort of
makes
movies and
sense.
stuff like that.
A24 is a punching bag right now.
Really? Say more.
Yeah,
Ron,
it's just-
nah.
Yeah, they're a
Say it
punching
ain't so,
bag.
Spike.
You know, not it's mostly because people like y'all that just be saying shit, but and then you know,
So what's the word? They said it ain't what?
huh?
They said A24 not what?
It's not about them saying it's always, you know, when something gets very popular, there has to be those 2 or 3 people that are like, I don't like this
It ain't the
because
old
my
days.
taste is better than this, and it's like, man, shut the fuck up, dog. You know. So now that A24 has created this thing where it's like they are looked at as the quote unquote pinnacle of like indie film, people have to go out of their
hate
way to be like, nope, don't think so. Nope. It's like, all right, bro, give me an example of why you don't like this. I can't. But I'm just telling you, nope. It's like, all right, bro. So I mean, I feel like I'm not surprised that, a show like this
You like the nerve.
is gonna be like, oh, A24 is stupid. It's like, all right, dude, cool. Where's the dick jokes? Like, tell me more jokes about fucking somebody on a period, because that's so like, whatever. Again, I'm glad people like this. This is just not my thing.
Yeah, well, either way, I'm glad I ended up liking it because I was just like you. I was like, this is some bullshit, and I hate everything about it. But I ended up liking it. Yeah,
same
I ended up
here.
enjoying it a lot. So I'm looking forward to season 2. I'll definitely watch season 2.
If I knew what this was, I probably would have said I'm not going to do this, because I knew this review was going to go just like this. I got nothing to add to this, and I don't need to be here to be like, this shit sucks. Nobody's looking. I don't think anybody recommended this to be like, oh, let's hear Mike tear it apart. They probably really like this stuff, but I don't like this kind of humor. So, future reference, I don't really have any desire to be on stuff like this.
Hopefully they understand that. But yeah, I did not know it was as popular as it was, but I totally get it now. People love the Seth Rogans and stuff of the world. But
Keep this shit, bro.
either way I go, that's it, man. So hey, man, y'all stay active in the subreddit. Because of your high activity and engagement on some of the posts in the community that's fostering and building there, this is something that Jalen saw, and you guys talking about, and he recommended it, and here we are. We're talking about it. So hope you guys enjoyed it. We catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.